Good day. I am Darlene R. Exaltado, Manager of the Internal Control Unit of Altertrade Philippines Incorporated. Welcome to the Webisode 2 of the six-part series of Altertrade advocacies. I will be discussing about why Altertrade is going fair trade. If we look at the definition of fair trade, it is a trading partnership based on dialogue, transparency, and respect that seeks greater equity in international trade. It contributes to sustainable development by offering better trading conditions to and securing the rights of marginalized producers and workers, especially in the South. This fair trade definition was developed by FINE, an acronym for an informal umbrella network composed of FLO, or the Fair Trade Labeling Organization, known today as the Fair Trade International, IFAT, or the International Federation of Alternative Trade, the News Network of European World Shops, and lastly, EFTA, the European Fair Trade Associations. Fair trade is an ethical requisite and exchange mechanism where producers and consumers get their due entitlements. It is a development framework necessary to other development approaches. However, it is also a business enterprise that is subject to business realities. If we look back at the history of Altertrade, it was established in response to the severe economic crisis that hit Negros in the mid-80s, which resulted to hunger and poverty. Humanitarian aid about both from national and foreign groups. It was during this time that the relief program of Japan Committee for Negros campaign was implemented, a relief program that later evolved into a trade not aid concept, which was perceived to have a more economic sustainability. The formation and evolution of this then new socioeconomic development idea adopted by Altertrade was discussed thoroughly last month in the first webinar of ATPI entitled Building and Sustaining People's Relationship. At the onset of Altertrade's existence in 1987 in Negros, its proponents were not well versed of fair trade, either as an articulated concept or as an emerging global movement. There was only from the beginning that desire to help alleviate poverty and empower the marginalized sector, a commitment deeply imbibed by its incorporators and top management from years of experience in the social movement. Thus, even without the full knowledge of the formal concepts, Altertrade's significant practices already fall within the parameters of fair trade or alternative trading as practiced by the fair trade traders abroad. The concept of fair trade was formally introduced to Altertrade in 1989 during the visits to Negros by the European Fair Trade Association, or EFTA. In 1993, Altertrade established relationship with EFTA as well as with GEPA, the Fair Trade Company in Germany, and OS3, known today as Claro, a fair trade company in Switzerland. Both organizations are based in Europe and are pioneers in fair trade trading. In the same year, Altertrade applied for membership with the International Federation for Alternative Trade, or IFAT, also known as the World Fair Trade Organization, or the WFTO. It was also during this time that Altertrade started to incorporate concepts of fair trade as a theoretical foundation in systematizing its work and operations. Fair trade, along with sustainable agriculture, organic farming, have become the guiding principles of Altertrade as it engaged in different socio-economic development endeavors, together with its partners, small producers in the rural communities. Altertrade adheres to the 10 fundamental principles of fair trade, parallel to its company core values: creating opportunities for disadvantaged producers, transparency and accountability, fair trade practice, fair payment, ensuring no child labor and forced labor, commitment to non-discrimination, gender equity and women's economic empowerment, and freedom of association, ensuring good working conditions, providing capacity building, promoting fair trade, and respect for the environment. 2006 was when Flowcert conducted an initial audit and Altertrade acquired its first fair trade certification as a fair trade trader of Muscovado sugar. Since then, Altertrade undergoes annual renewal of fair trade certification covering the Muscovado meal and the marketing and trading operation. So how the certification works? An organization seeking certification has to demonstrate compliance to the core and development requirements of the fair trade standards expressed in holistic criteria of social, economic, and environmental aspect. Currently, Altertrade has 4 major fair trade customers abroad, namely GEPA in Germany, Bjorg in France, Claro and Chocolate Burn Rain in Switzerland, and Corby Cubes in Belgium. And here in the Philippines, we have Peter Paul. These 5 SPOs are cultivating an aggregated total sugarcane farm area of 148.49 hectares under the collective management system. The Altertrade Foundation for Food Sovereignty works closely with these producers in enhancing their capability through its major programs, the Production and Enterprise Development, Credit Financing Program, and Organizational Development. Since the Fair Trade certification of the 2 SPOs in 2012 and additional 3 SPOs in 2015, they received a total of $233,529.41 to be exact. Fair Trade Premium, which is equivalent to 11.7 million pesos. The Muscovado produced from a certified fair trade and organic sugarcane receives a premium of $80 per ton or $0.08 per kilogram. Premium received per commodity is universal to all fair trade producers and is set by the Fair Trade International. Altertrade acts as a fair trade premium conveyor that facilitates transfer of the premium fund from the customers to the producers. The fair trade premium received by the producers can be used in various socio-economic and environmental projects of the organization for the optimum benefits of its members and their community. As for the certified fair trade SPO partners of Altertrade, their premium was used in the following projects: production support to sugarcane, rice, and balangon projects, acquisition of farm implements and machineries like farm tractor, installation of irrigation facilities like ram pump system, and construction of water reservoir. For capability building, conduct of trainings, attendance to seminars, and representation to local and international gatherings or assemblies. Procurement of office equipment like the laptop and overhead projector, construction and renovation of their multipurpose center, for emergency and hospital support, for educational support, for the purchase of school supplies, rice subsidy to the members during off-cultivation and off-milling season. And especially during this COVID-19 pandemic, the certified fair trade SPOs also distributed food packs to their members and their families. So by being part of the fair trade system, the SPOs were also able to establish links and network with fellow fair trade producers at the local and international level. They are also closely involved with the programs and projects launched by Network of the Asia and the Pacific Producers, or NAP, on climate change resiliency, youth inclusive community-based monitoring, and women empowerment. The fair trade system gives small producers an opportunity to secure a sustainable livelihood, empowers people's organization, and ensures environmental protection. Parallel to the producers, consumers play an important role in the fair trade system. consumers' buying power to choose products that carries the fair trade mark fuels the whole fair trade system. The fair trade mark is an assurance that in the entire value chain, the product was produced and traded in a fair and equitable manner for both producers and consumers. So there are different recognized fair trade labeling initiatives like the FLO, WFTO, Fair for Life, Fair Trade Plus, Netherlands Fair, among others. Empowered consumers chooses to support the fair trade producers, encourages more traders to join the fair trade system, and works to create a global movement for a fairer world. Altertrade, in more than 3 decades of existence as an alternative business organization, continues to reaffirm its mission in undertaking fair trade and people-to-people trade towards building self-reliant and self-determining communities where small producers live in sufficiency and ecologically sustainable life with dignity. Such is the vision of Altertrade.